From the ends of the Earth to magnetic lakes that will make your equipment go haywire, here are the strangest geological occurrences in the world. Number 10. The Crystal Cave. While it's true that many geological wonders and oddities are found above ground, many are found underground. And for two brothers, they made the discovery of a lifetime when they found a cave entirely full of crystals. And I'm not talking tiny little crystals, I mean massive ones. Some of these crystals are estimated to weigh around 55 tons. This was found 300 meters below the surface of the Naica mine in Mexico. Imagine what these guys felt when they saw all of these crystals. The size, the shape, the color, it must have been both awe-inspiring and confusing. I mean, how did all of these crystals form? That's the real question. Scientists think they were formed by gypsum that traveled via water and washed through the cave that had the perfect conditions to create these massive crystals. This cave is hot. It gets up to 136 degrees Fahrenheit with 90 to 99% humidity. The air is acidic and there is no natural light. Groundwater laced with calcium sulfate swam into the caves and, heated from the magma below, began to form the gigantic assembly of crystals. And ta-da! Nature's artwork again at its best. And now for number 9, but first, can you name the real place that inspired Paradise Falls in the Pixar film Up? Write your answer in the comments. Also, if you are new here, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell before you leave. Number 9. The Chocolate Hills. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm sad to say that these are not actually hills made of chocolate. They wouldn't be around anymore if they were. Anyway, in the Philippines and the Bohol province, you will find over 1,200 mounds of limestone that are known as the Chocolate Hills. Why? Because in the summer season, the grass on the mounds dries up and they turn a particularly dark brown color, which makes it almost look like chocolate kisses. These limestone chocolate hills are only covered in grass, no trees or anything. They all have a similar shape, but no one really knows how or why they were formed in that shape. The ongoing geological theory is that the hills are marine limestone that got weathered that way over thousands of years, or they erupted from the sea in a massive geological shift. Regardless, they are quite beautiful and give the landscape a mysterious vibe. If you have been here, let us know in the comments about your experience. Number 8. Moe boulders. Sometimes the oddest of occurrences have the simplest scientific explanation, but it still boggles the mind. The Moe boulders in New Zealand are large, round boulders with what looks like intricate details carved onto them. Some of them even look like a plate of armor of sorts. They are located along the shore of the Ko'e Beach, and the Maori claimed they were eel baskets that came from a canoe that had sunk in the ocean. The scientific explanation is that these almost perfectly spherical boulders were exposed through shoreline erosion along the beach. Scientists claim that sea sediments came together millions of years ago to form these balls, although there are still many people who are skeptical. We know erosion can create some wonderful things like the Grand Canyon, but erosion inherently takes away. It doesn't necessarily create things that come together to make perfect shapes. That explanation kind of rubs some people the wrong way, but hey, that's part of the reason these boulders are so mysterious, kind of like the stone balls of Costa Rica. There is still debate as to whether these boulders are geological or if they were maybe carved by an ancient civilization. Another explanation is that these rocks were built up on the ocean floor, kind of like how pearls are made. The sediments come together to create rocks that are then rolled around for years and years and years until they become perfectly rounded. It might explain the shapes, but they are still one of nature's strange geological occurrences for sure. Number 7. Kilauea volcano. Okay, full warning here, volcanoes are dangerous. Public service announcement over. Seriously though, volcanoes are another great example of geological wonders, and they are very dramatic and strange occurrences. Even though we know why they happen, sometimes they erupt for no reason at all, and that can really catch us all by surprise. However, one strange occurrence that we can count on is the Kilauea volcano on Hawaii. Just recently, this volcano has been spewing gas and molten rock for about a month now, and the lava flow now covers almost 4 square miles of a residential area at the time of this video. This beast is known as a shield volcano and is actually taller than Mount Everest by over 4,000 feet. But what makes it strange is that unlike regular volcanoes, which are already terrifying, this one erupts every day. It's constantly pouring out lava, which is why it's so tall. It's making the island bigger and bigger, but mostly this just affects the ocean. Until now, when over 2,000 people have been evacuated and residents are now told that they must evacuate or face arrest. The molten lava has already covered some major roads on the Big Island. The fact that it keeps erupting is a terrifying display of how nature can be as brutal as it is beautiful. The good news is, if you like to study volcanoes and want to see lava up close and personal, this would be the perfect spot for you. Safe travels! Number 6. Rainbow Mountains. While these may look like regular mountains from afar, as you get closer, you can see that the colors get more and more beautiful. These mountains are a geological wonder of the world and are known for their coloring, which looks like someone took a paintbrush and painted a rainbow directly onto the mountains. Located in Zhangyi Dangxia Landform Geological Park in China, it has been named a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is now a hugely popular travel destination for tourists and trekkers. So how did it get its incredible coloring? The mountains are composed of sand and silt with many different kinds of minerals and iron that are responsible for creating the colors we see today. Weathering and erosion took away the sedimentary rock and exposed the different formations, and chemistry did the rest. If you really want to go, be careful not to be disappointed. These mountains are beautiful, no doubt, but people do have a tendency to over-exaggerate just how good they look by saturating the color using Photoshop. If you want to see exactly how they look, be sure you're looking on an official website or just go in person. There are other rainbow mountain ranges in other parts of the world too, like Peru. Just be careful to check the weather before you go. Number 5. Eye of the Sahara. The desert can be a beautiful and strange place to find rock formations and other geological wonders. The Eye of the Sahara had been hiding in plain sight for years. It was only recently known to us in the modern era because it was detected from space. When you see it from the sky and look down at the Eye of the Sahara, you'd see it makes kind of a bullseye. How's that for strange? The Eye of the Sahara is kind of difficult to describe. It looks like a rock formation, but the unique coloring and patterns make it really strange. One longtime theory has been that it's the result of a meteor strike. However, scientists have not found enough melted rock around the area to uphold that theory. The main ring structure of the eye was affected by erosion, but it is believed that it was once a dome of layers of the Earth's crust. Geologists now theorize that molten lava was pushed up to the surface, but didn't quite erupt for thousands of years until erosion finally wore away the top and it burst, creating the rings of the eye. Another theory is that the Eye of the Sahara is actually the remains of Atlantis. Why? Because Plato described it as rings of land and water, and since we still haven't found it, why not? Number 4. Mount Roraima. Mount Roraima is one of the oldest mountain formations on Earth, estimated to be around 2 billion years old. The floating island plateau is a completely real natural wonder, surrounded by 3 South American countries including Brazil, Guyana, and Venezuela. Unlike most mountains, Mount Roraima is a tepui, or a mountain that has a flat top. Its impressive cliffs are only scalable by the most talented climbers. This is a very rare type of naturally forming mountain. It's made of quartz sandstone and reaches 9,000 feet into the air. If that's still not impressive enough for you, it actually is the source of one of the tallest waterfalls in the world, Angel Falls. And for those who guessed, the remote landscape of Mount Roraima and Angel Falls is the place that inspired Paradise Falls in the movie Up. It also inspired The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It rains almost every day and it has a unique ecosystem with many endemic species. If you can make it to the top above the clouds to the floating island plateau, it might make you feel like you've made it to the end of the world. Number 3. The Stone Forest. This stone forest of Shilin in China covers 300 square kilometers and looks like the landscape from another planet. These stone pillars or karst formations are bunched together in such a way that it actually forms what looks like a stone forest. There are now trees around those stones to help sell the effect. These formations are over 270 million years old. As for how this happened, the area in China was apparently once a sea area. The rocks themselves were pushed into the air, thus becoming pillars. When the waters receded, wind and other weather manipulations turned them into sculpted rocks that resemble trees. And there are also caves, waterfalls, ponds, lakes, and even an underground river. According to local legend, a beautiful girl rejected a man who was in love with her, and when she ran into the forest, he turned her into stone. Number 2. The Disappearing River. This one is as cool as it is strange. In 2016, nature decided to divert a river in Canada, and it left a lot of people in the scientific community scratching their heads as to what was going on. An expedition team was going to the Slims River Basin in the Yukon Territory in Canada. When they got there, they found the river. The whole river was gone. The river itself was nearly 1,600 feet wide, and this was an area untouched by humanity for miles, so it didn't make sense that the river was just gone. This is where things get good. The team wanted to find out what happened, as any good scientist should, and they soon found that the water was flowing into another river. So how did that happen? The two rivers were at one time being made by a glacier, and because of that, they got separated. However, the glacier was shrinking, and so the water of the Slims Basin River broke through instead of getting parted and thus combined with the other river. While this naturally occurring phenomenon isn't new, what shocked most people was that this massive river was gone in just 4 days. Even for nature, that's very quick. In fact, no previous river in history had been naturally diverted in such a time frame. This will definitely affect the ecosystem of the area because of the major drop in water, and some scientists fear what will happen if this happens to other rivers around the world. Our water could be here today and gone tomorrow. Number 1. The Magnetic Lake. There is something weird going on in the water at Lake Lonar. Located in Maharashtra, India, this lake actually causes magnetic disturbances, to the extent that it interferes with electrical equipment and makes compasses go crazy when they are near it, kind of like the rumors from the Bermuda Triangle. Explorers and tourists reported things going wrong with their compasses in that area for years. As word spread of this phenomenon, many wanted to know what the heck was going on. What's more, this 4,000-foot lake is perfectly circular, which is a rare occurrence in and of itself. The geology and state of the area around the lake doesn't make sense either, since the perfect circle is alone on a plateau. The surrounding area is flat and there are no bodies of water for miles. So first, how did this lake get here? And second, why is it magnetic? Scientists couldn't wait to analyze this lake, and the answer turns out to be extraterrestrial. A meteor is believed to have struck the area possibly 50,000 years ago. The circular shape of the lake, the debris around it, as well as the ground underneath the water all point towards a meteor strike. It turns out the meteor brought magnetotactic bacteria along with it, and this isolated bacteria is what causes all those strange magnetic anomalies. The bacteria swim along geomagnetic field lines and can make your compass go haywire. Fun fact, Lonar Lake is the only impact crater formed in basaltic rock. This bacteria has huge implications for the search for extraterrestrial life, and scientists are now analyzing the bacteria in their search for life outside the universe. Thanks for watching! Have you seen any of these odd formations in person? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!